Hey everyone, this is a Happy Anime Cafe Manager here with another walkthrough episode for the game Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. So right now I made it quite far into this case, but I suffered another game over. That shattered the event, threatening my plan. But there's gotta be a contradiction somewhere in her testimony. How she broke off the tip of Stark's knife. That knife looks like it's gonna be hard to break off. No way she could have done that all by herself. I wonder which side is up. Better yet, what's the purpose of a bombless jar? At least it doesn't collect dust inside, right? Okay, only shown in this picture. Neil Posse report and so many into files. Okay, I mean that sounds true, but we gotta try something. Pieces of the jar, you mean? Yes, that Dark committed the crime. I felt like to be moved more expedient to move the body. The jar was already. Dark was going unconscious. In other words, the jar must have been broken during the struggle. I see. What's the matter, Emma? Apparently the jar shattered at the time the crime was committed, but I have a feeling there is more to it than that. There must be a contradiction here somewhere. Anyway, I committed this fabrication completely alone. Miss Guy, I understand how you feel. You committed the crime 2 years ago to protect your sister. You mean the forgery at the scene where Neil Marshall was murdered? If that truth were to be exposed now, the past 2 years of your life will have been useless. Even so, I am compelled to bring it to everyone's attention a significant contradiction within your testimony. A contradiction in my testimony? You testified, and I quote, "The pieces of the jar that shattered during the event threatened my plan." That's right. Do you have a problem with that? It's a simple oversight, really. You see, a message was written on this jar with the victim's blood. Yes, the prosecutor must have written it in its final moments. Exactly so. And this is where the contradiction lies. In order for the victim to be able to write his message on the jar, it must not yet have been broken before he died. Ugh! He couldn't have written Emma's name on a shattered jar. Order! Your Honor, it would appear more information is needed in regard to this jar and its bloody message. We may be missing something critical here. Something critical, Chief Prosecutor. It seems you're as in the dark as we are about the truth towards which we're headed. What? Just tell us exactly what you saw. We'll piece together the information to arrive at the truth. Very well. The witness may now continue her testimony. Jar and a message in blood. I immediately noticed the blood traces on the jar. But it was dark in the room and I didn't have time to check it out. To be safe, I wiped away the blood. The fragments were large, so I'm sure I got them all. All I could think about was wiping them clean before they were discovered. You mean you were the one who wiped away this message in blood? I wasn't Chief Prosecutor at the time. She didn't think Dark was the real murderer. That's why she tried to erase the real evidence. Very well, the defense may now begin its cross-examination. So it was dark in the room, and so you didn't know your sister's name was written on the jar. No. If I had known, I would have gathered all the pieces on the ground, and ground them to dust. Well, that helps my case. Lana, if you do that for me, it seems you two might make up yet. Anyway, I just barely had enough time to move the body as it was. If someone happened upon the scene, you'd lose your chance to erase the evidence. You must have been in a hurry. I was. I knew I had to destroy the evidence before anyone came. This is rather shocking. To be safe, I wiped away the blood. I'm afraid this action of yours reveals what really happened. What do you mean? If you really thought Dark killed Prosecutor Marshall, you wouldn't have wiped away the blood. What else could I have done in that situation? Lana, I only had a few moments. There wasn't enough time for me to do anything else but gather up the pieces. The fragments were large, so I'm sure I got them all. But how could you see with the power out? It should have been pitch black in that office. A detective is always prepared, Mr. Wright. Even now, I always carry a pocket light and a camera with me. Even I carry a bottle of emergency luminol whenever I go. I never miss anything. I got every last piece. All I could think about was wiping them clean before they were discovered. So you illegally rearranged the crime scene? Yes, I don't have any excuse for my actions. I'm so sorry, Lana. I didn't know. I treated you so badly all this time. It's not too late. There's still plenty of time to make up. After we've gotten to the bottom of this incident. No doubt this day will leave a permanent stain on the history of the prosecutor's office. More contradictions have surfaced in her testimony. Your sister's really putting up a fight. She must really care about you. Still, she's not doing this the right way. I think I finally figured out the contradictions in her testimony. There's one final possibility that might turn everything around. So the jar was already broken. It's a miracle that that thing hadn't broken earlier. It certainly looks as feeble as the defense's case, but not as feeble as the judge's judgment. You were an ace detective who never missed a detail. Do you really expect us to believe you didn't investigate what was written on the jar of pieces? Normally, I would have. But it was dark in the room and I didn't have time to check it out. But she carried a pocket light. The fragments were large, so I'm sure I got them all. Jar. There was no blood on that jar. Miss Guy, I believe this jar conceals a truth even you were unaware of. What? We found the final piece of this jar in Chief Gant's safe. In the chief's safe? But how? I knew it. She really didn't know. There's something even more disturbing about the final piece. There was still blood on it. But the witness just testified that she gathered every last piece and wiped the blood off of them. Yes, which leaves us with only one explanation. On the night Prosecutor Marshall was murdered, you are not the first one to show up on the scene. Chief Gant got there before you. But couldn't the defendant have simply missed a piece? I'm afraid that's unlikely. The pieces are too big for anyone to miss, let alone an ace detective. That may well be, but everyone makes mistakes. Even I once wasted an entire day looking for my dentures. They were in my mouth all along. Ha! Can you believe that? Have you forgotten, Your Honor? When this witness arrived at the scene, the jar was already broken. Oh, that! There's no way a name could have been written on the shattered jar. Another person discovered the scene prior to the witness. I hope you're not implying that this person was Chief Gant at the time he was looking for dark downstairs. Besides, even if he was there first. The question is, if he did arrive there first, why would he hide the facts for 2 years? Well, Your Honor, can you answer as that? No! Wait, I'm not the one on trial here. Damon Gant arrived at this crime scene prior to the witness. He proceeded to break the jar and purposely hid one of the broken pieces. Question: what is this action called? Fabrication. But why would Chief Gant do that? in light of what happened afterwards. Isn't it clear? What happened afterwards? Discovering the scene while Lana Skye believes her sister Emma killed the victim. Determined to help her sister, she sought Gant's aid. Lending her this aid, Gant helped her create evidence that incriminated Dark, sparing Emma. And here is the reason. The reason why Miss Skye became the chief's puppet. No, I did it on my own. Please, sis, stop trying to protect the chief. I can't watch you suffer anymore for my sake. No, you didn't. It wasn't you, Emma. You didn't kill anyone. Don't believe anything Mr. Wright says. Defense attorneys may make up the most of it. Defense attorneys make up the most foul lies to defend their clients. That sentence doesn't quite make sense. Make up the most foul lies to defend their clients. More like the most foul lies. Foul lies? Imagine that coming from my own client. I guess you seem the type who likes to twist the truth. Wait a minute. What if we're still smack dab in the middle of Gant's trap? Is something wrong? Mr. Wright? Lana, maybe right after all. What do you mean, right? So you do tell foul lies then, Mr. Wright. Miss Skye, please testify once more. But if evidence was fabricated behind her back, then Emma's accidental killing of Prosecutor Marshall might also be a lie. But I do remember knocking over Mr. Marshall. Miss Skye, if you will. I can't. There's nothing to be afraid of anymore. This cross-examination may not change a thing. However, there is a possibility that it will, if you tell the truth. Very well. I'll testify about what I really saw. Alright, the witness may testify once more for the final time. Actual crime scene. When I arrived, I found Mr. Marshall's body impaled on the suit of armor sword. Emma and Dark were lying unconscious on the floor nearby. When I saw what had happened, I thought she did it. That's why I erased the evidence that linked her to the murder. And Chief Gant helped me remove the body from the sword and carry it. But if it really was a fabrication, Emma might be innocent. Unbelievable! The body was impaled on the armored sword? You were the only one who saw that. If only you had proof. Actually, I do have proof. I gave it to Mr. Wright just this morning. What? To me? It's a picture I took of the crime scene as I encountered it. I thought it might be needed. But I don't remember receiving a picture like that. Laura must have known. See, Mr. Wright, she really does have faith in you. Very well, Mr. Wright. Please present this picture. I don't remember receiving any pictures from Lana. Lana said she gave it to you this morning, right? I seem to remember getting something from her then. Let's check that evidence again. There must be a picture in there somewhere. Evidence law. Hey, there's a picture here. Oh my! This is the actual crime scene. No other detective saw the crime scene like this. That's because I contacted Criminal Affairs only after I rearranged the scene. Lana's picture. Type photographs received from Lana Skye. Lana's picture inserted in the court record. Mr. Wright! That piece cut out from his vest. Could be the cloth we found inside Chief Gant's safe. What's this? It's a handprint. The cloth, it had a fingerprint on it. Whoever fingerprints those must be the real murderer. What? But those fingerprints, they're yours, Emma. Why are your lips turning all purple, Mr. Wright? Anyway, let's get on with the cross-examination. So long as you tell the truth, we should be able to flush out the real murderer. Very well. The defense may now begin its cross-examination. Actual crime scene. When I arrived, I found Mr. Marshall's body impaled on the sword. Hold on! Oh, shit. Come now, Udgy. This is the poorest excuse for a trial I've ever seen. Chief Gant! What now, you want to make me out as a bad guy too? If so, I'd like to put in a word or two in my defense. I'm afraid it's too late for that. What? You already declined testimony. That means you forfeited your right to make the statements of any sort. This must be the risk the judge was talking about. Just sit back, relax, and enjoy the sound of the noose tightening around your own neck. Ah, so what? You think I'm worried? If he's worried, why would he come back, or what? Why would he refuse to testify at all, or yet hide evidence? So, man, this is rough. Man, the truth is taking a really long time to surface. Sorry to disappoint you, but I don't need to make any statement. What do you mean? The evidence will do all the talking for me. Even if I can't testify, I could still present evidence. Yes, that's true. Wait! You mean you still have some conclusive evidence? You still have some conclusive evidence? No, I don't. But someone does. Someone? So then, what's your excuse, Wrighto? Why have you been keeping quiet about it? You do have something to show us, right? Something that proves who knocked over Neil Marshall, causing his death. Conclusive evidence that leaves no room for doubt. Is it true, Mr. Wright? If I show that piece of evidence now, Emma's sure to be made out as the murderer. Mr. Wright, if you have any more evidence, please present it now. And if you try to conceal anything, you will be one appearing before the Board of Inquiry. What do I do now? I better think this through carefully. I can't afford to make the wrong decision. Should I present the piece of evidence, the one that shows who really killed Prosecutor Marshall? I'm going to go deep. Yes, Your Honor, I do have further evidence. Alright, the time's finally come to show it to them. Those prints have got to be the chief's. Now then, let's see this conclusive evidence. The evidence that shows who actually murdered Prosecutor Marshall. That's a piece of leather clothing. Yes, it most likely was cut from the victim's chest. That's nearest chest. What's this? There's a big handprint on it. Surely it must have been left on the cloth by whoever shoved them into the sword. What? Whose fingerprints are on this? I'm sure Wrighto has checked. Haven't you? Well, whose are they? They're Miss Sky's. Miss Emma Sky. What? They're mine? So I really did do it. See, I told you it was conclusive. But this was found in your safe. That means it's possible you forged it. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't remember any cloth in my safe. You really expect me to believe that? But give it up, Mr. Wright. It's over. You should have presented that. By presenting that evidence, you tied Emma Skye to Neil Marshall's death. No! It appears we have our killer. No! No! Everything hinged on that point. In the end, Lana was found guilty. Man, so no, I had like 4 chances left, so I mean, holy shit! If I knew that was going to screw me over, but I wouldn't have presented it. But then again, there is a possibility that Gant had forged a handprint. You gotta go through all this again. Wipe them clean before they were discovered. Fragments were large, so I brought them all. Camera. Anyway, I got an errand to do, and I'll get up to that critical point in this trial. So thanks for watching. Until next time, to be continued, baby.